This is 5 on Your Side at 5. Focused on you.
He took my life when he took my son's life.
Tonight, a mother's call for change 20 years after her baby was beaten to death in St. Charles County. The man who did it is getting out of prison this month. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Mike Bush. The deadly crime happened in 2004 in St. Peter's on Father's Day. 5 on Your Side's Justina Cornell joins us from the newsroom after speaking to the victim's mother. Justina.
Well, Mike and Kelly, Paige Freemuth was just 20 years old at the time when the father of her 4-month-old baby killed their child. Now, 2 decades later, she's moved to a different state for safety and reached out to us to raise awareness about child abuse. Now, here is case-to-case footage from 2004. Richard Salas admitted in court he had taken drugs before his son Tyler was dropped off. Now, when the baby wouldn't stop crying, Salas punched and beat the infant, slammed his head against a wall, and threw him into a trash can. Salas took a plea deal that very same year and was sentenced to 20 years in prison and will be released next Friday. Freemuth says she's still devastated to this day and realized 20 years was not enough. Her message today was to reassure parents that there are resources.
I think a lot of people just need to know about that and stop making it such a taboo that you're a bad parent because you are so frustrated with your child. It's okay. It's okay.
She suggested one St. Louis nonprofit called Crisis Nursery. Now, they offer a free short-term safe haven for children. Their Crisis Nursery number is 24-hour helpline is 314-768-3201.
Tonight, people who live in the Hill neighborhood in St. Louis are dealing with damage to their cars. It's the second string of car break-ins there in a week. 5 on Your Side's Megan Kernan is live in the South City neighborhood after speaking with neighbors. Megan.
Mike, police tell us there were more than 24 cars that were broken into in various locations throughout the Hill neighborhood last weekend and the weekend before it, including here on Bishop Avenue. Now, it's important to note that those were just the ones that were reported to police. Now, as you can see, surveillance video obtained from 5 on Your Side shows at least 3 people getting out of an SUV and breaking into people's cars along Bishop Avenue on June 2nd. It happened again this past weekend. And while police say the majority of the crimes were reported, there were some instances where victims didn't file a formal report, so the total cars broken into could be much higher. Police say the thieves stole luxury clothing, debit cards, and purses, among other things. The president of the Hill 2000 Neighborhood Association says this is a recent spike and not the norm for the Hill.
They were smashing people's windows in because they found valuables in the car. So we always remember, or reiterate, I should say, to our residents to take all valuables out of the car. Even if it's some change in your cup holder, take it out because you don't want a car break-in. You don't have to deal with your insurance company.
Now, police say they'll continue to review patrol plans to see what adjustments might be needed for this area. Now, if you have any surveillance video of these incidents, you're asked to call the South Patrol Division to provide that. Reporting live from the Hill, Megan Kernan, 5 on Your Side.
The International Institute is asking for help as St. Louis sees its largest influx of immigrants in nearly 2 decades. In the last 6 months, the Institute has seen people come in from at least 23 different countries and speaking at least 55 languages. Global turmoil drives many from their homes abroad to St. Louis, but empty shelves are getting in the way of helping those in need.
We're asking for St. Louisans to stand with us at this time. There's not enough manpower, there's not enough financial resources that can bridge the gap between where these people are coming from and where we can get them to.
And here's what the International Institute needs: cleaning supplies, kitchenware like bowls and plates, and feminine hygiene products. You can find a full list of most needed items and how to donate them in the As Seen on TV section of KSDK.com. Cardinals fans are in for a warm game tonight, but a hot one tomorrow. And we likely won't see a day below 90 degrees for a while. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Castillo with the first look at the forecast.
Yes, you know, that might last for weeks in terms of that 90 degrees or higher. And last year, the longest streak we had was about 8 days in a row. So already this year is turning out to be a little hotter than last year, at least so far. Weldon Spring and also Farmington, very nice. Some high clouds. Cuba, Missouri and Hillsboro looking great out there, and it's a really nice evening for the Cardinals. If you're headed to the game, it's 82 right now, and of course that humidity way low. It's comfortable at 37%, and tonight's lows maybe not as cool as it was this morning. We did drop to 58 in St. Louis, but a few clouds and 63 for that low. But here comes the heat, 91 tomorrow. Humidity stays in check, and then we add humidity with 95 on Thursday, so it feels like 100. Then on Friday, that humidity goes back down again, but still 92, Saturday 94. And of course, that heat index, just checking that for Thursday, it's going to feel more like 100. Much more on our forecast and a storm chance coming up.
A St. Louis man is on a 3,500-mile mission to fight human trafficking, and he's doing it on a tandem bike. Naresh Kumar, founder of the nonprofit Freedom Seat, set out about 4 weeks ago on his ride across America that began in Astoria, Oregon. Right now, he's back at his hometown for a brief stop before hitting the road again to D.C. Kumar's goal is to raise awareness to a problem that he says has entrapped about 50 million people worldwide.
I think acknowledging a problem is the first step in solving it. And you tell them, send them statistics, links about how many cases are happening in the USA. And it's an eye-opening thing for them. They are like, oh my God, we can't believe it's happening right here in US soil.
Kumar plans to hit the road again tomorrow. He says he's got about 1,300 more miles to go, and all money raised will go to human trafficking prevention and protection programs.
Cahokia Mound is one of the most studied Native American sites in the country. Recently, St. Louis University professors, students, and visiting scholars took a closer look at the Metro East landmark and turned up some new discoveries. Annie Krall shows us what they uncovered.
Even with the rich history of Cahokia Mounds, there is still more to be discovered in this rich soil. At this site in particular, there have been items that have been discovered that date back to 1100 AD.
People sometimes don't understand that the change in soil color can be just as important as the artifacts that we find.
Besides changing soil color in these units over the last several weeks, a number of micro drills used to shape weapons or household items have been uncovered. On the western periphery of Cahokia Mound, students sift through dirt, finding walls instead.
Which is what we think is a midden, so like a trash pit. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to find anything this big at all. I just thought we'd be finding little artifacts here and there.
Archaeology and anthropology SLU professor Dr. Mary Vermillion saying there are also old sweat lodges or saunas here. Everyone perspiring in the same spot about 900 years later.
They think we're nuts for being out here in this heat and getting excited about dirt that changes color, but that's what it is.
While being outside might be the most fun part, the lab work is arguably the most important, and that starts next week, helping to put all of this into the context of a bigger historical picture. Reporting in Fairmont City, Annie Krall, 5 on your side.
Hunter Biden found guilty. What's next for the president's son?
Streaming bills about to go up. The reason behind the summer hikes.